morning. Good morning. Bwana asifiwe. Yes, today, is there anyone who has never seen me? Oh, okay. So, interesting. Thank you for coming. I thought I'm now, part of this, but it's here. You can see we are having more new people, which is a good thing because it means that you guys have become the Samaritan woman who is going to tell people, come and see, come and see, come and hear. Yeah, so thank you so much for spreading the word and inviting others to join us. Yes, my name is Eunice, my name is Mburu. My name is my father. Please, we don't drop names. And Mburu is my husband, as Pastor said, and Marcus is my son. He turned 15, so I'm a mother of a teenager. Yeah, and we thank God for him. Today I came with a friend of mine called John, and I just want her to just wave at you, and we've come from far. Just come and say hi to people.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Joanne from Mburu, and all of you know me. Our family, all of you here, and of course you know the connection. But today I'm really blessed to meet Eunice. And one thing I'd like to say is, I actually met Eunice through Mary here, who met her here in church. So thank you, church, for really connecting me with a great friend. So thank you all so much.
So they connected us, we became friends, we go to the same Bible study, go to the same church, we are neighbors. Yeah, that's how connections are. Yesterday I was speaking in a conference, and we were talking about does God speak in business. And one of the things that we talked about is that when God created man, it's the only thing, actually, only time that God said it was not good. It's when He created man and He said, it is not good for man to be alone. Of course, we take that verse, we think it's this husband and wife conversation. No. He meant a man, nothing can happen without connections of other human beings. So it's not about a husband and a wife. It's more. It's about that business cannot happen when you're alone. Business only happens when there are two people involved. And you can't do business with an animal, can you? So you can only do business with other people because God said it is not good for man to be alone. And one example I was giving yesterday, let me just give you that example, is that imagine rapture happened and you're left alone. You knew it was going to happen and you knew you were going to remain, so you had stocked everything in the fridge and everything you needed. And people are gone and you have exhausted what was in the fridge. What would you do? My son told me go to the shambas where people had left. But how long can you sustain? Just imagine you having everything you need, but nobody to share with. How is that? So do you see why God authored, fellowship, relationships, networks, and they say your network is equals your network. So look around, who are you having around you? Yeah, and then the kind of business you're capable of doing. All right, so today we are here to talk about side hustles. Okay, this is a topic that is very dear to my heart, but it's also a very controversial topic. So I am going to put a disclaimer, just in case I bust your bubble. Just bear with me. But one thing that, when I was preparing, this is one topic, I started preparing like the whole week is something that I was thinking about the whole week. Then on Thursday I sat down and I remember even chatting Pastor and telling him this thing, it's quite it's quite controversial. But I asked God, please speak through me because I don't know what to say on this topic. If you look at my slides, you realize I actually don't know what to say, but yes, I have highlighted a few things. And I want us to start by reading somebody who has a Bible. You can read for us Ecclesiastes 11, 1 to 6. Somebody who can quickly read. I hope I'll get this recording.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. hustle is. Yeah, you do. You know, just doing another job for extra cash. Yeah, it's doing another job, a side job, not your main job, for extra cash. So let's see where this, where we human beings have gotten this idea from. So can you read? Who is reading? Yeah, please go ahead.
Ecclesiastes 1:2-6. Meaningless.
No. Ecclesiastes 11.
Oh, 11.
11, 1. Yeah, 1-6, sorry.
11:1-6.
Up to 6, yeah.
Ship your grains across the sea. After many days you may receive a return. Invest in 7 ventures, yes, in 8. You do not know what disaster may come upon the land. If clouds are full of rain, they pour rain on the earth. Whether the trees fall to the south or the north, in place where it falls, there it will lie. Whoever watches the wind will not plant. Whoever looks at the clouds will not reap. As you do not know the path of the wind, or how the body is formed in the mother's womb, so you cannot understand the work of God, the maker of all things. Verse 6, sow your seed in the morning, and in the evening let your hands not be idle, for you do not know which will succeed, whether this or that, or whether both will do equally well.
Thank you very much. So I was doing my research and looking for where is this side hustle business coming from. And this is a verse that I found. And because I've tried to look, and this is what comes closest to what we are trying to do. And then when you go online, everybody is saying 40 ways, 40 different side hustles you can do, 100 side hustles that you can do. So basically, everybody is doing side hustle, right? So, and this is the origin of, invest in 7 ways, yet in 8 ways, because you do not know which one will kill. But the Bible talks about investing. Yeah. And then it also says, sowing your seed in the morning, and in the evening, don't sleep. So basically, our interpretation has been, go to your day job, and then at night, do the other side hustle, right? Yeah? Is that what you interpret? Yeah. Are we there? Okay, good. Next. Okay. Yeah, so that is where I think it came from. And then the next verse that I want us to look at is Ecclesiastes 9, verse 10. Somebody read 9, verse 10. Ecclesiastes 9, verse 10.
Ecclesiastes 9,
Yes.
verse 10. Whatever your hands find to do it with your might. For there is no one who wise or knowledge or wisdom or great or age of God.
Whatever your hands find to do it with all your might. Because when we are going, hakuna kazi, we do it here. Okay? Let's read the other verse. I'm getting distracted. The other verse is Matthew 6:24-26. Somebody read that. I'm just trying to form the basis of this conversation. Because I believe everything that you have to do on earth is in the scriptures. There is nothing. And all the people who get rich, they use the same biblical principles, whether they are born again or not. The choice is ours whether to use them and get rich like other people. But it does not discriminate. Say that you're a Christian, that you become, by just knowing and not doing what it says, that you become richer. No. It is biblical principles, the world uses it. We, the children of the light, have refused to use it, so we struggle. The world is using it. So, Matthew 6, 24-26.
No one can serve 2 masters, for the either he will hate one and love the other, or else he will be loyal to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and mammon. Therefore, I say to you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat or what you will drink, nor about your body, what you will put on. Is not life more important, more than food, and body more than clothing? Look at the birds of the air, for they neither sow nor reap, nor gather into barns. Yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not of more value than they?
Amen. No one can serve two masters. So when we are doing a side hustle, how many masters are we serving? Two masters. Because you will either hate one, you will love one and hate the other. Basically, we're talking about divided attention. And there's also another scripture that says, a divided house cannot stand. And a double-minded man is unstable in all ways. You know that scripture? Yeah, so starting from the first scripture we read, that yes, you can, invest in different ways. Now, investing and side hustle are two different things. Invest and you invest what you have already earned. And then you find different places where it works while you continue working. Okay? Let's continue. I want us to ask, because today is going to be a discussion. Why do we do side hustles? What is our motivation to do the side hustles? Extra money? Okay. Next. Yeah. Why do we do the side hustles? We're looking for extra money, right? Others are looking for financial freedom because you think this is where your financial freedom will come. Others are starting the side hustle because you want to transition to another job. So let's start with the extra money. How many of you are doing side hustle right now? Just be honest. Side hustle and the main job. Between the main job and the side hustle, which one gives you the best returns? It gives you more return than your job. Then you need to stop working. Because of the side hustle. On a serious note, because imagine the effort you put in your main job. If you put it on your side hustle, how much would you make? Don't answer us. Think about it. Because I have evaluated, I have tried side hustles personally. Like for example, I have books here. This is a side hustle from my main business. But I can tell you, this book project doesn't do well at all. I just come with them when I'm speaking. I have no time to sell books. I have a company to run. And any time that I tried, the company suffers. So because the way we are created, you can't serve two masters. Somebody else who has a side hustle that is making more than the main job. Somebody else? So why do we do that? I'm not telling you to stop, but I want us to have this conversation and be logical in our thinking, where you do the math and ask, what if I took this time, this effort? Even sometimes you're so busy doing your main job, the side hustle, you have no time for your children. Because you're busy looking for extra money. What did she read? She said, do not worry about tomorrow. What you will eat, what you will drink. Do we take that scripture seriously? Because why we are doing this is because we are worried. It's because we are panting for bread. I'm not sure whether tomorrow we'll eat. And you have a Father in heaven. And we don't believe this word. Let's talk about it. We don't believe it, but we read it and we talk about it. It's one thing to read and talk about things, and it's another one to, be truly committed to this. It's risky to believe that one. It's very risky. because you look stupid even in yourself. How would I not? Okay? So what am I trying to ask? And this I'll talk to employers and employees. And I'll give an example. One of my employees, okay, if you come to work with me, you will never know how I get to do things, but I get to do. Now, could you do this? Because I spend time, I focus. I will know you even more than you know yourself. So this particular employee, I discovered that she was selling clothes on the side. And we talked about it. I didn't tell her to stop. Because why would I tell you to stop? Because it means the clothes are giving you more. But we had one time, just a leisure, I think we were having lunch and I asked, how much do you make when you sell the clothes? And, 2K, 5,000 on a good month. And then I asked, what if that moment you're selling clothes, you rested? Don't do anything. Don't even put that time on to be smart. Just rest. How many ideas would you get on how to make this smart better? And I'm saying this because you think you're really working hard and you're really making money. By the end of the day, remember, it is God who gives. By the end of the day. And so you hustle, you bustle, and we have this culture of hustling. People are really panting for bread. But if you look at it, it's not because you lack bread. It's because you want to be like your other people. Your friends. People are making more money than you. So you want to be like them. Because God has never denied you what to eat for the day. Anyone who has not been able to eat, as in Umelalanja, in this church, please raise your hand. Okay, sorry. Anyone who has never slept hungry? Who has never slept hungry? Because, when they are not fasting. Of course, if you're fasting, you sleep hungry. Do you see that God provides? So, this is how I look at work. If we focus on that main job, if for sure it pays you well, if you focus on it, and when you're not in that main job, you take a break, or you go for a walk, you do things that will bring creativity in your mind, companies will never close. Companies will never close. Companies will make profit. I'm speaking as an employer. You know why? Because you bring your gifts to the place where you're working. You bring all of them. Your creativity, the ideas, the dreams you dream will be about that job. You see, we think working is doing. Do you know resting is part of it? Because God will not speak to you when you're busy. God will only speak to you when you're quiet. Tell me anybody who God spoke when they were busy. Which one? Even Moses was told, come here. Wachana haito, busy. Were they busy or not? So what was he hiding? Pastor, what was Moses hiding? It was sheep. It was sheep, eh? He was told, come, remove those shoes. Because where you are is holy. Basically, God wanted that intimacy with Moses. Remember, was it Elijah? When he was running away? And he wanted to hear God. And there was thunderstorm, there was lightning. Was it Elijah? Yes. Thunderstorm. And God was not in all this. And the Bible records that he was in a still, small voice. I was reading, sometimes I do theology, Pastor. And I read somewhere at the theologian saying that the Bible, the writer could not capture silence. That's why they say still, small voice. But it was the dead silence that God spoke to Elijah. So where do you get silence? When do you get silence? When was the last time you switched off your mobile phone and just stayed doing nothing? When was the last time you did that? Do you understand why God is not speaking to us? Because we be busy. And you'd make so much money. Now, continuing the story of my staff. Now, the way we structure our income in Bismarck is that you have a base income, but then this base has a target. Okay? It's attached to a target. So this is the bottom bare minimum expected of you. Beyond that, for every additional revenue you generate, or for every additional KPI that you do, you earn. So, when I was preparing on Thursday, I chatted Joanne. Oh, sorry, I said her name. Not this one. It's my staff. And I asked her, do you still sell clothes? And she was like, oh my God, I forgot. I forgot I used to sell clothes. I stopped selling in 2020. I asked her, why did you stop? So I realized I'll make more if I focus on my main job. So it's you to evaluate and ask, is this side hustle giving me what I am looking for? Does it give me time to relax? For example, you could take a side hustle whereby it is like your what is it called? Your hobby. It is what gives you creativity. It is what makes you refreshed, like keeping cows, for example. So you're saying on Saturday, I go to my cows and I just talk to the cows. And I get ideas about my job because I'm with cows. Okay, I'm just giving you ideas. I'm not here to tell you 40 different side hustles. I know I will disappoint you today. But think about it honestly. What is this that you can do? You will still make extra cash with the cows, but you become more productive in your main job. This is how I look at business. Remember, the person who has given you that job is an entrepreneur. Who is an entrepreneur? An entrepreneur is someone who organizes human resource, natural resources, the ones that God already gave us. Combine all this and capital, and looks for capital, and combines all this to build the business. Now, you are supposed to be an entrepreneur where you're working. So you are an entrepreneur. The only thing that you're not doing is that you're not providing capital in that business. That means your creativity, your ideas need to be in that business. And when do you get ideas? You can only get ideas when you're quiet. You can't get them when you're busy. And can you imagine if we did that, we'd create so many jobs for other jobless people. And one of the things I was talking about yesterday was, God did not create you for you. If He just created you for you, why? He created you so that He can use you to answer His children's prayers. And for you to make money, you have to be an answer to God's child prayer. Otherwise, you don't deserve to earn even a single cent. Because you only earn when you add value. What does that mean? That you identify the prayer item of God's child. You get? This prayer item is normally a problem, right? So, how do you get ideas? Listen. God gave you 2 ears, 1 mouth, 2 eyes. 2 eyes to observe, 2 ears to listen, so that you hear people's prayer items. Okay, in this context, when I'm talking to business people, I tell them, you hear people's complaints and problems. You need to fall in love with people's problems. That when having a challenge, you should be listening. What is the challenge? You know why? Because in that challenge, there lies the opportunity for you to make money. So when your boss says, I have a challenge, you should be the one listening. Yes, boss. What is the challenge? And when you go and ask God, how can I help my boss, handle this challenge? Give me the idea so that I can help my boss, so that we can build this empire, so that we can create more jobs. Because there are people praying for jobs. And you have been given that job so that you create other jobs for other people. A side hustle could also create jobs for other people. But then you need to ask, when you are this divided, which one, what exactly are you achieving? Do the math, honestly. Sit down and say, this is what the side hustle gives you. And if the side hustle makes money for you, it means you need to be out there. Go, focus on that side hustle, build it. And before you go, read this book, Hits and Misses, because it is not easy. It is not easy. You need to know what you're getting in, because now you're taking the role of what your employer has taken. The risks. I listen to people talk about business people and I keep quiet, because you have no idea that when it's Edmund, right? Everybody who is employed is looking forward to get income. I'm here, and I know it's Edmund, and I am asking myself, oh my goodness, this month has ended too quickly. Can it be delayed a little bit? Why? Because bills are waiting. And while my employees sleep nicely, I ask God, okay, these days I sleep because I've learned, I keep digging deep to understand God's way of doing business. And I can tell you for sure, I don't worry about it. Whether we have money or we have no money, I don't worry, because I know He is using me to provide for these people. I tell you, God, these are your people. Me, they are not mine. Provide for them. When they come, they say, we have delayed salaries. Tell your God. Tell God to provide for you. And if He wants to provide through me, He will. And that's how it works. Are you understanding? So anytime when you think, and I'm not saying don't do side hustles, please. I just want you to examine and be very intentional, be very conscious about whatever it is that you do. Because when we detach from, the intentionality of whatever we do, we become, how do we put it? We get distracted from God. We actually start moving away from God, and we think that this is where blessings will come from. And no wonder, you don't really get rich, you will just get busy. Haven't you seen that? You find people who are very busy doing 100 things, but by the end of the day, you are in the same, they keep praying, God provide finances. Why are they keeping praying on the same thing? And they are busy. So we exchange busyness we exchange productivity with busyness. Are we together? So, financial, extra cash. But I would advise, if you honestly want to try something that you want, because you want to transition, you feel you're called to entrepreneurship, you feel you're called to taking these risks, it is good to start a side hustle as an experiment. Because eventually you need to transition and go and focus on it and build an empire so that you can be part to the answer to the prayers of children of God. Because we are not here because we are needy. We are here on earth because we are needed. Please change the conversation. You're not needy. You are needed. So we are not on earth because we are needy. We are on earth because we are needed. And what are we needed to do? To go out and spread the gospel of Christ. And gospel, we don't go sick, You need to read Hits and Misses. One of the things that I've explained there is entrepreneurship a full-time ministry? Pastor is in a full-time ministry. Is entrepreneurship a full-time ministry? Yeah? I believe it is. Because we are in the service to serve God. And how do you serve God? You serve through serving His children. And that's why He said it's not good for a man to be alone. And He provided companion. And we keep multiplying. And if you read the end of Genesis 1, it says we're supposed to take dominion. We're supposed to dominate. So when you're in your workplace, dominate there. When you want to transition, Start slowly, don't do like me. For me, when I was ready to go, I never focused on anything else on the side. But when I was ready to go, I left, then I started. It's risky. So start slowly, experiment, try those ideas when you're still there. If for sure you're convinced and you're a productive person and you can tell your boss this is what you're doing, it should support you. Now, for those who are employers, please make the work environment conducive for people to exercise these gifts within the work environment. Why would you give somebody a fixed salary? Okay, I don't believe in fixed salaries. I believe that you need to have a salary, a small salary, then look for the other money within the organization. Then you don't have to do side hustle. Because whatever you do is building the organization, you employ more people, and you become more productive. Okay? So for business people, anyone doing business here? You need to see me, you need to change your payment structure, you need to be more inspiring. Then you will not have issues of, COVID has come, times are difficult, we need to close, we need to lay off people. Why are we laying off people when we have people of God in workplaces? Why? Are we saying that God has stopped providing? God doesn't work with the economy of this world. It is us who don't align with Him, and that's why we keep laying off people. So you need to look for me. We need to change that. And that's why I started 28 entrepreneurs as a coaching for people. So let's examine. I think we have already examined this. But as you can see, my topic today is not me telling you, it's let's think. How does your side hustle affect your main job? And I have said, you think because you're doing side hustle over lunchtime. Let me show you how it works. So you've woken up at 5. You're supposed to be at your workplace at 8, right? So you've woken up at 5. Between 5 and 8, you're doing your side hustle, right? So you have no time to think about what you're going to do in the office at 8. Because according to you, you're paid 8 to 5. No, they're not paying you 8 to 5. You're paid to be there fully. To be there fully means that last night when you went to sleep, even God is speaking to you about this business. And that's why businesses are struggling, because Christians are busy making money. And please remember, you do not deserve money if it is not for somebody else. If it is just for you to eat and drink. Do you think God created us to just come here, eat, drink, make merry, and then go to heaven? He created us to replicate Himself in this world, to dominate. And how do you dominate? It's by multiplying, helping others. And that's why they are always needing people for us to help them. So examine, how is it affecting your job? If you have never dreamt about your main job, then it means you're too busy. If you've never come to a point where you dreamt with your job, then you're too busy. So if you want to dream about your job now, you need to let go some of the things that you do on the side. And then focus on it. And then go to your boss and say, look, I want us to have a conversation. And I believe the boss is somebody who's talking to them, or will have the opportunity to talk to bosses. Let's have a conversation. What if this is my target? If I meet this target, can we introduce a way of me getting value? Because now you look at yourself as an entrepreneur within this organization. So you are not trading your sweat. You're a business person. So you're a supplier to the business. So go negotiate as a supplier and say, yes, this salary earns me, this target earns me this salary. I would want to test myself. I want to go beyond. I've been doing side hustles, but I want to take that time and bring it here, and I want to focus on this particular business. What will I get? Go think about it and say, I want this percentage of whatever extra revenue that comes. Now, this also means that you need to learn selling. Because for you to have this kind of conversation with your boss, you need to be a good salesperson. Alright? You need to be a good salesperson. So if you want to be a good salesperson, read Sell Me This Pen. Because selling is not just changing the product. It's about going and saying, look, this is my value. This is what I'm bringing. And when I bring, this is what is exchanged for the value that I am adding. Tuko pamoja? Now for those who work with government, that may be difficult. Because I don't know when you reach government to change that. That is a different conversation. I have 5 minutes. And I'm about to finish. Yeah? Oh, sorry. So my final words. Sorry. Focus is key. Focus on what God has given you. Just try. Please test this and come and tell me it doesn't work. Okay? Take my number after this. Test this for the next 6 to 12 months. You just focus on this one job and look at the opportunities within your employer. If you're an accountant, start looking at how can I help my company generate more revenue so that then we can all earn more. If which other job doesn't involve selling? Yeah. If you're a credit officer, look at what it is that you're doing and see the side hustle within that. And now go and sit with your boss once you see the opportunities there, because God will show you. If you are quiet, God will show you the opportunities in that. And then let's discuss this in 12 months. Tell me if it doesn't work. 12 months, but you give it your everything. And tell me if it doesn't work, if your boss doesn't want to listen to you, we will find a job for you. You know why? You'll be so marketable. You'll be so marketable if you try this, that the next job you get will pay you more than double. But because we don't focus, we can't be able to. We will have to look for extras because this is not giving us enough. So number 2, start the side hustle to an experiment to plan your exit. You must be sure that you want to exit. You need to hear from God that He's calling you to entrepreneurship before. Read hits and misses so that you understand the challenges, you understand what it will take you to do that. Okay? And then start the side hustle experimenting and then plan your exit. And then do a side hustle that can help you relax and be more creative. Think of that thing that you can go with your kids. You have time to talk with your children because you are all-round person. You cannot separate. As you're making money, so you compromise your family. Look for a side hustle that makes you more creative, more relaxed, more able to focus on your main job. It may earn you some extra income, but the focus is not the income. The focus is relaxation. I'm sorry to disappoint you guys. I tried. So take my number in 12 months. Please try this. On a serious note, how many of you are willing to try and test this one? Just this idea. Please test it. And then let's discuss it in 12 months, next year. At a time like this, I'm sure I'll be called here. Let's have this conversation. And tell me. And feel free, in between, text me. Take my number, I think it's there. WhatsApp is good for me. But you need to introduce yourself, tell me where we met, and then let's have this conversation. I'll ask you many questions. Yeah, so you need to be prepared to answer questions. Thank you. God bless you.